Good morning. Good morning.
Good.
How we feeling? GM Degens?
Amazing.
You were up very late last night.
I was up till 4 a.m. talking about lemons.
Playing with your lemons.
With Flostradamus. Shout out to the new homie. Yeah, I could say that. He followed me. Shout out to the new homie Flostradamus, who I don't know if you were in the club scene when Major Lazer was getting hot back in 1937. But boy, was that a time to be alive. And Flostradamus, young king. And guess what? Go check out his PFP. And see what his PFP is. It is zesty. It is citrusy. It is a lemon.
It's a lemon.
Lemon.
We need to get them like a Bacardi Lemon partnership too.
Lemon. I always say, you know which one always perplexed me? Bad Bunnies. There's literally a pop superstar named Bad Bunny. Are they not on the phone every day to this guy's age?
Who is that?
Bad Bunny into his.
Who's Bad Bunny?
You don't know who Bad? Oh my God. Hey, Gen Z, start lighting up R2. He doesn't know who Bad Bunny is.
Are you thinking of Bad Barbie? Bad Bobby?
No one knows who that is. I don't know if that's some sort of Canadian pop star or...
No, the chick on Dr. Phil. Cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah, no. This is... No. Bad Bunny is a world-renowned reggaeton superstar who has broken into the Billboard charts quite often in the last couple of years. And if you guys don't know, there is a project we are fans of called none other than Bad Bunnies. This seems like a natural fit, much like the Cameron Kaiju wearing the Cameron pink fur jacket. That needs to be in Cameron's hands. So, you know, Shout out Eric, shout out Cameron, shout out Dipset 158 in Broadway. Yo, you guys gotta get in on that.
Dipset, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Is that ATL? Oh man, look at this crypto. We are going.
ATL? What are you talking
No, isn't Dipset from no?
Yeah, no, that would be Harlem. 158 in the way. Taliban, y'all heard?
Oh, I'm thinking of what is it? Cash Money Millionaires, right? Is that them? Yeah.
Collabs. Dupes.
Yeah. They man, crunk rap. Where did that go?
Oh, it's there. It's there.
Still there. Yeah.
It's laying in wait for this K-pop bullshit to blow over. Shout out, Luke. Love you.
All right, how's everyone doing this morning? Throw some GMs up in the chat. I need some things to pull up on screen and talk. Cutter GM. Joshua coming hot off the you won the Gossip Girl, I believe. That was a nice little win there. Hopefully we ended up getting it to you. I sent your address off. Let me know if you didn't in the DM, please. Faded Native.
Love the Gossip.
Ella D. Sandman. The gentleman from Lost Glitches is back. Appreciate you coming. Can't remember your name. I apologize. Milo, Ella, Chipper, Rad, Bailey. Good to see everyone here. A lovely group of GMs. Degens. You're a little quiet today. Are you quiet? You're tired. You're not as exuberant.
No, I'm pumped. I was just giving you a minute to shout out everybody. Do I sound far away to all?
Maybe that's it. Maybe a little far away. Yeah, just some distant. Got some Eternal Elves whitelist. Nice. GM, you degen fuckers. GM to you too.
Alexi,
thank you.
We love the Eternal Elves. If you guys didn't catch the Kingly Spaces run by our very own Maz last night, I hope he recorded it. We're going to post that in the general later today if he did. He is sleeping. Many of us were up until 4 a.m. doing what's called the NFT. These NFTs, they don't let you sleep. Sleep is negative EV. And many of us sleep. Yep, many of us remain awake till all hours of the mornings talking about none other than the NFTs.
I went to bed early yesterday. Well, like 9:30 p.m. early. I was just beat. I was going to try and jump on this.
Said our good nights to each other.
Yeah, we do.
Good night, boo.
Tucked me in. Yeah, I mean, I was going to try and jump on the spaces with Maz. It was like 9:30. I was falling asleep at my computer, and you know, nobody got time for that. All right. Do the drum roll. GM Degens, and welcome back to the AM show, hosted live on YouTube and Twitch. It is January 26th, a lovely Wednesday out we have going on. JPEGs are looking good. Crypto is looking good. I had a good night's sleep. Free market did not. I am your host, R2 Degen, joined with me as always by Free Market Capitalist
Lemon.
What's going on, Degens? We've got a great show for you today. It's really easy to make this content when everything is going up, and it does feel like that. I'm not going to say all of my bags are going up. There's a couple of ones that I'm hoping get a little bit of a rush there, but the market by and large is crushing it, and yeah, it feels like we might be getting back into a little bit of a cycle there. How was your Tuesday?
My Tuesday was fabulous. We've been watching markets a little closer than we usually do. Normally, we can keep our head in the NFTs and not even look. It doesn't matter whether spot's at 2, 3, or 4,000. But crypto was not falling because of crypto this time. There was contagion spilling in from other markets. So I think, crypto natives were watching the stonks a little more than usual. And after we had that ridiculous rebound on Monday, everyone was, in their seats waiting to see what happened on Tuesday. We tend to get, there's only two things that are going to happen after a day like that. You're going to get some violent, massive gap up on unexpected news or a catalyst, which we didn't get, or bears are going to try to push it again. See if they can get the bulls to give back what they did yesterday. The bears tried their best to push us below the open of that Maribozu. They could not do it by the end of the day. They had basically thrown in the towel. We've come in this morning about 2.5% up on the Nazi. ETH is up above 2,600 or close to it. Again, things are feeling bullish, and NFTs are following suit.
Yeah, definitely. We had a pretty busy day yesterday too. It felt like I didn't really get up to too much other than NFTs. We had the show in the morning, nice little 2-hour chat, and then what else did we do? We had a meeting with a project that we're going to be talking about eventually, not today, but I'm very excited about that. We had it. What's that? Oh yeah, it looks great, baby. Oof, it looks great. And it very exciting too. They have their shit ready to go for a launch, which is nice. Who else? We talked to Monstercat. We talked to I believe his name is Mike Darlington of the CEO of Monstercat. They just released an NFT yesterday that did really well. We've always talked about music NFTs being part of the meta of 2022 and really kind of bringing a new group of people into NFTs as well. It was very fascinating to hear what he had to say. For those of you that don't know, Monstercat is actually a recording label and kind of subscription service that allows streamers and YouTubers to play music on their stream without the risk of DMCA, and very focused on paying their artists, which is what NFTs are all about. So that was a fascinating conversation, and really enjoyed that. That's on our YouTube, and you can check it out as well. Let's get into crypto. And as you said, Bitcoin hitting 38,000 just now. I'm going to refresh. Yep, still 38,000, 2,600 for Ethereum, as we are starting that march back towards 3,000 and then hopefully 4,000. Again, I'm maybe not out of the woods yet, but as Free Market so eloquently said the other day on the show, that it does look like maybe the bottom is in, that we saw on Monday while we were live on the show.
And I will just caution here and shout out to Ella for reminding everybody. We have the FOMC meeting today. That's the Federal Open Market Committee, who's going to make statements. No matter what the statement is or what the actual results are, there tends to be a lot of volatility in markets around FOMC because people lean one way or the other, and you actually tend to see us tease both sides. So we can see an extreme today where we either go red or go even more green on something that we didn't expect that actually retraces by the end of the day. I don't want anybody to think we're out of the woods, okay? I've said it a bunch. It's a bit of a joke, but bottoming is a process. It's not a moment, okay? You have to get multiple signals that indicate we're a bottom. Everything looks very, very bullish right now. I do think there's a very good chance we have put it in. I've positioned myself that way. But as I always say on the show, we have to adjust to reality. None of us know the future. Anything could happen. And we are nowhere near out of the woods yet. While a bottoming pattern is presenting itself, the chart is still broken. It needs to firm up, and we need to get above certain resistance levels to really say that we're out of the woods.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see us test that $2,200 mark on ETH, and I think it was like 32,000 on Bitcoin once or twice more.
It'd be called a double bottom. One of the most classic bottoming patterns there are, and there's a few of them, is the double bottom. Most people learn it as one of their first technical patterns. We could go back to the lows that we had reached the other day, find buyers again. And if we then got above the neckline of where that previous thing stopped, that tends to be a very, very bullish indicator that we have bottomed.
Testing those resistance levels or the support levels, sorry, a couple of times and successfully holding them should really, really solidify that floor pretty well. I think that's typically what I'd be looking forward to. I'm not nearly as advanced in trading, but
absolutely,
I would feel good about that for sure.
Yep.
And you almost kind of want it to happen, right? Like it really, really firms up that resistance.
You want as firm a support as possible. When you get violent moves down, a violent move back up is not the healthiest thing. There are what are called V bounces, but the thing is they really have to keep going and get above where they broke down, or they're in real danger of going back and testing those lows. So not out of the woods yet. Gut tells me the bottom is in. I am positioned that way, but I am watching these charts closely until they've given us an indication that we are above certain resistance levels that we are still underneath. So
give me the 30-second translation of what Jeff S. just said here.
Okay, so Jeff says he thinks Powell comes on the dovish side of the wildly hawkish speculation. And why? Because he's never said any of this shit. Everyone else did. And Jeff makes a really great point. 90% of the discourse you're hearing on a daily basis didn't come from anybody who mattered. These are hedge funds who have their own, interests. These are politicians who have their own interests. This is the media who has their own interests. That said, I'm a firm believer that the tail wags the dog. Everybody thinks it's news that moves markets, but the buy-sell mechanics that occur leading up to events tend to decide which way the event goes. The news can spin anything bearish or bullish. You could take any number and spin it bearish or bullish. There's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. And statistics are very easily manipulated, right? So, what up, 2-year flipper?
Yes.
We didn't even know that was you. Now, you got to understand, this guy knows the bond. I'm an S&P trader. If you want to understand the macro, you talk to a bond trader. And this guy here is as legendary a bond trader as has been in markets. So, thank you. He's saying I'm spot on. This is what we're thinking right now. We're all watching it. Like we said, we can't predict the future, but this is the type of stuff you want to see to get bullish again. So, fingers crossed. We're watching today. I do expect a lot of volatility, and we will see where we are.
Oh, I'm just going to let you and 2-year flipper host the show now.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. Thanks, man. Good to see you in here as well. All right. We will move on from that, though. That's wildly fascinating, and I'm feeling good about the market as a whole, at least today. That could change pretty quickly. I just pulled this up because it's always something that's worth talking about, but not really like FUD worthy is research suggests quantum computing only a decade away from cracking Bitcoin. Nevin's law, not Moore's, gives quantum computers about 10 more years before they could ever crack the leading crypto. Not actually sure what Nevin's law is, but Moore's law is like the law of doubling computing power every 4 year, like the global computing power kind of doubles every 4 years. And then recently it kind of switched to 3 years, but it's kind of been slowing down a little bit now.
Yeah, no longer remotely valid. I think Moore's law went out of fashion a few years ago.
Yeah, we are reaching some peaks in terms of the actual computing power, in terms of like
it's the technology.
Speed.
You can only split silicon
returns,
so many times before it's physically untenable. So we're looking for new materials that we could split even smaller, but silicon's getting there as far as its limits. So
So quantum computing is a new form of computing. I won't go into the depths and the technical jargon of it, because I truthfully don't understand it completely myself. It has been explained to me, but basically, if it ever picks up steam, the amount of computing power would be easily able to crack a Bitcoin seed phrase, or the private keys and all of that stuff, just because it can work so much faster, millions of times faster than traditional computing. But as they said, is about a decade away. Now the thing is, quantum computing has been about a decade away since the 80s. It's like cold fusion, free market mentioned in the pre-show. It's always like a decade away. It's always a decade away. And it's almost like this carrot that we're kind of trying to grab at. And, the faster we run, the faster it goes just ahead of us, just out of our reach. And there are future-proofing things that, the blockchains can do to help prevent against quantum computing just destroying it. Quantum computing is a great for the world at large, not great for crypto though. It really like if it just came out tomorrow, which it won't, like it's over for Bitcoin for sure, and some of the other blockchains. But I digress. I just think it's an interesting fast topic. Right? Yes, everything.
Right? I mean, it's not like this is just going to take down crypto. Quantum computing could be a threat to all cryptics and everything that we use to protect ourselves with passwords and such. It's just like an electric-magnetic pulse bomb. This is the scariest weapon we've ever considered, but it's nowhere near close to being deployed. I wouldn't worry about any of these things. It is something to watch, though. It would change everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fascinating topic. I won't get too in depth in it because it's not overly like entertaining to listen to somebody, unless you're like a computing junkie. But more into the NFT space, YouTube's head of gaming leaves to join Polygon Studios as CEO. Ryan Wyatt has been a vocal proponent of blockchain and NFTs while at YouTube. This is Polygon Studios, which is a gaming company, not Polygon, the producers of the blockchain. Polygon Studios is partnered with Atari and Animoca brands, so those are pretty big partnerships, not the biggest ones, but pretty big. And of course, building on Decentraland, Sandbox, and some of the other metaverse stuff. I find this fascinating for one reason, and one reason only. YouTube gaming has really taken the forefront and is starting to steal some market share from Twitch. They really do have their finger on the pulse of what gamers want, need, how to make things go viral, what the trends are. And if he can take all of that knowledge into a gaming studio like Polygon Studios, I think it could be very powerful for that brand, could be very good for Polygon, and a rising tide lifts all ships. Really, really good for crypto gaming in general. I'm interested to see where this goes, what they start working on, some of the brands and things that they come out with, and if they can form partnerships with existing YouTubers and potentially Twitch streamers. We've said it a bunch of times, but the gaming market as a whole really pushes back against NFTs, even though that it isn't inevitable that these studios are starting to do play to earn gaming and crypto NFT based gaming. These are the kind of people you want to see switch over and jump ship in order to help that adoption.
Yeah, and this is just the type of thing you see from companies, right? Steve Jobs said big screens on phones didn't make sense until Apple made a big screen on a phone, right? And this is what companies do. Crypto doesn't make sense until they decide it makes sense. And that's what we're seeing now. We know that all these giant Web2 corporate entities are now coming for us. That's fine. That's good. It's going to take this industry to a completely new level. We're in the year of mass adoption, and every day we have 2 articles that point to this trend accelerating. So,
yeah. We also that's an interesting conversation about Monstercat, which we'll get into too, because they kind of go hand in hand with each other. But some pretty good news coming out of Polygon Studios there. OpenSea is adding Solana NFTs, Phantom wallet support. If leaked images are to be trusted, they sound like they're coming soon. And this is great for Solana, honestly. We kind of rag on Solana quite a bit. We're definitely ETH NFT maxis. I'm not even sure if Solana is up right now, but probably
it wasn't over the weekend.
Was it down again?
No joke. 3 times there was an outage as the world was burning.
That's pretty painful, but this is good for OpenSea, and this is good for Solana. It kind of make things go hand in hand and a little less friction, maybe being able to buy stuff quickly. But
literally got into an argument with DC Investor over which is worse, gas fees or network outages. Like Colby was 100% convinced that gas fees are worse for the average person than network outages. DC Investor was going the other way. It was an interesting conversation. They were both right.
Those are 2 incredibly intelligent and poignant people on NFT Twitter. And if there's 2 people that I care about what they say, and 2 people that I think will be relevant for a long time, I don't think a lot of the people that you see right now are going to be relevant indefinitely. We see the rise and fall of somebody like Beaning, which we won't get into. But if there's 2 people that you're going to put on your forever follow list, I would say they are 1A and 1B, or at least up there.
Mm-hmm. You said Beanie, and my brain just went on a tangent.
You just shut up. Oh, yeah. You're like, get the outrage going. I don't know.
Yeah,
do you want me to open the floodgates? Yeah, I could feel it. The steam coming out of your kaiju ears there.
Oh, kaijus. Let's say hi to the kaijus who are over 5 ETH this morning, or right at 5 ETH on the Genesis, at 2 ETH on the babies. Hide your kaijus. Celebrities are coming for them.
Yeah. Actually, some big. We let's talk about kaijus a little bit later in the show. I don't have them queued up, but they are following the trajectory that everybody else, including Mutant Ape Yacht Club, is. This thing is flirting with a 20 ETH floor. If it hasn't hit it already, I just refreshed OpenSea. What the fuck was I thinking? I don't know why I ever rely on this site to work properly, but as of the time that I pulled this tab up, a 19.75 ETH floor. It was only a few away from 20 ETH. This thing is ripping. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of, like, I guess, kind of game theory involved with the ape token, the supply and all of that, and compared to the Bored Ape Yacht Club, that these should be valued at about a third the price of a Bored Ape. I think that's a little bit guessy. However, I guess if you're basing the entire valuation just off the fact that these things are going to earn tokens, that probably makes sense, I guess.
Here's what's funny. I don't even think about ape token when I think about apes. Quite frankly, I don't even think they need the token right now. I think if there was no apes token, apes would be in the same position they're in right now. And this is purely a result of celebrities using them as the latest fashion item to wear. Okay.
I agree because I don't think Steph Curry bought one of these being like, man, I'm going to clean up on
passive income. Ape. Yeah. Think they give a fuck about
that? Dude makes $100,000 for every minute he's on a basketball court. He'll be all right.
Yeah, this is a very simple world we live in, guys. It's a flex. It's all we do. We are birds of paradise. We like to get our plumage all fluffed so that the opposite sex or the same sex wants to come chill with us, right? This is what we do. And
we need to get you a David Attenborough type documentary.
These are the greatest flex in the world right now. People spend more time online than offline. This makes complete sense. Bored Apes are going to go to 120 ETH into the Super Bowl. They're going to have $1 million floor here either this year or next year. This phenomena isn't going to be stopped anytime soon. And Ape Token is just icing on the cake at this point. Yeah, Paris Hilton started the next leg up. We called it last weekend. Apes are going burr. Jimmy Fallon's wearing his ape. It ain't stopping anytime soon. Let's just say rest in peace to the guy who fat fingered his 100 ETH mutant yesterday for 9.9. We speculate.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a rare ice mutant yesterday, or diamond mutant. We speculate he was trying to list for 99.
It wasn't a transfer error?
No.
Well, here's one 6 hours ago for 0.01. Well, I don't know what happened there, because
that could have been a friend giving it to a friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine that mutants would ever have been listed at 0.01. In fact, I would say they wouldn't.
No, the other one seemed like a fat finger, because that looks like 100 ETH there. If you see one for 9.99, that's a rare mutant. That went.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far. 3.1. Jesus, that sucks. Anyways, yeah,
I mean, going on out there, mutants, get your shit together.
Yeah, seriously. But you know what? This is a great topic. We really had a good conversation about the Bored Ape ecosystem. We talked yesterday about Yuga Labs being kind of raising money at a $5 billion valuation, which honestly seems cheap to me at this point. But we were talking about how much this is actually going to be worth. Like, how much is the total ecosystem of the Bored Ape universe worth? And I think it's actually incredibly high. I think the ape token is going to be very valuable. I think it's going to be participation in the Bored Ape ecosystem without owning it, right? The ape owners are going to be generating these things. And then, obviously there's going to be a liquidity pool. The market will determine what the price is. But I do believe that for any kind of like Bored Ape merchandise, Bored Ape shows, concerts, anything like that, meetups, groups, anything, I do think that they're probably going to integrate this token as a payment mechanism. There are pretty easy ways to make it seamless so that you can go straight from dollars to getting whatever goods or services you're receiving, and then having the ape token kind of facilitated through the liquidity pool. But I do think that this is going to be the transfer mechanism for almost everything that goes on in this ecosystem. I also saw a really cool post on Medium just about someone kind of thinking about how the ape token should be distributed. And basically his rally cry is that the ape coin should be distributed equally to wallets based on how long it held a Bored Ape, Mutant Ape, Bored Ape Kennel Club NFT, even if they don't own them anymore.
Bitch.
No, I'm curious as with that reaction to what your thinking is.
I had to sell my ape, and now I still need something. Please.
I don't think that that's the case. I think what he is saying in this instance is that, like, it's a way to kind of promote, congratulate, and reward anybody that participated in the Bored Ape ecosystem's success. That includes people that minted, because like we always say, right? Inevitably there was going to be a lot of people that were faced with a very tough decision on whether or not they should sell at 60 ETH, because it's just such a large portion of their net worth. Or maybe they could buy a house with it, or maybe a relative or their wife needs surgery. I don't know. You never know why someone needs to sell, and sometimes it's probably unfortunate that they do. I thought it was just an interesting idea to kind of reward it, because I mean, Bored Ape's never getting here without all of the people that participated in it in the past, right?
That's nice. That's a them problem, not an ape problem.
I do agree. I do agree. I just thought it was an interesting take.
It is. It's a great take and all, but you got to understand, Uncle Free here. I'm against selling. All right. I think there should be as many penalties for selling anything as. In fact, I would petition to remove the sell button from most OpenSea accounts, the exception of mine, of course. I know when to sell. I'm responsible. But for all these paper-handed jabronis out there, they don't need a sell button on their account. They don't know what they're doing. You sell your ape, you're out. Go find new friends.
Is that the mic drop? That's it? You're done?
That's it. No tokens for you, boy. Go buy a mutant. You want some tokens. Fuck out of here. Get a dog.
Let's talk about like total market cap of ape. Like, do you have any speculation on what happens when these are released?
Let's talk about it, my friend, because right now there's two stores of value in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. There are the assets themselves, of which we know there are 10,000 of them. And then there is Yuga Labs, who's making all the decisions right now. Now, on Wall Street, you would say that that's pretty, you know, the power rests in both of these things. Neither exists without the other. It's basically a 50-50 split. So let's do a little math. $5 billion valuation. All right, let's split that in half. $2.5 billion. There's 10,000 apes. That's $250,000 an ape. What is the ape floor right now?
100. Yeah, you're right. 250,000.
There you go. So understand that this valuation makes sense. Half the value lies in Yuga Labs. Half the value lies in these apes. Now, why do I believe apes are going to $1 million? I will tell you. First of all, Yuga Labs itself will grow. But one of the big goals of Bored Ape Yacht Club is to completely decentralize, is to completely give the power eventually over to all the apes. That began with the licensing, that is going to end with the token. And while Yuga Labs will always be there to help guide decisions, they're going to go DAO. They're going to put all the power into the assets themselves, into the tokens. And that is why Bored Ape Yacht Club will hit a $20 to $30 billion valuation.
Can I be contrarian, or maybe even just like pick your brain about trying to apply that valuation like that? Like, would this not be like the value of the New York Knicks being based on how many season ticket holders they have?
No, because the season ticket is not the product being sold. The game is. Most people watch the game on TV.
Okay. Yep.
I think this is why NFTs are so unique, right? I think this is ownership in a different way than has ever been before. And I think even when we talked about that example of musicians selling out a few rows, I mean, that would threaten a lot of people's ways of making a living right now. That's good for the band. That's good for fans. But is that good for Ticketmaster? Is that good for every venue out there? This removes power from certain people. I think that this is going to become more pronounced. And
yeah. I mean, okay. So let's think about this then. Right now, the top 20 cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap is just under $10 billion. Do you think that the ape token can break into that like right away?
Sure. Away, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're. I don't know what they're. I don't know. It's. I believe that it's going to be the only way for your average person to get any exposure to the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think.
I think these things are going to get bought the fuck up.
Just like everybody wants to own one share of Tesla so they can go to a party and say they own Tesla, people are going to want to own some ape coins so that they can go to a party and say they're part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So it will be the lowest entry to get into the Yacht Club, while it will not give you, obviously, the perks of a mutant or a Bored Ape. So by that factor, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a classic sell the news situation. The demand for these Bored Apes is just off the charts. And this is not a stupid company. They are going to make such fanfare around this. And man, I almost don't even want to say how bullish I am, because it seems crazy. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's just what they have done wrong so far.
As far as I know, you don't own any of Bored Apes.
I don't. No. I have no
Kennel Club. I don't. I wish I did. But yeah, like I think it's easy just from the outside looking in, just being like, and I'm not FOMOing, but it is just it's an incredible. It's an incredible journey they've had. They continue to just exceed expectations and do all of the right things. You nailed it right on the head with Bored Apes flipping CryptoPunks and then just kind of running away with. Actually, interesting enough, CryptoPunks are making a bit of a comeback too. I mean, everything is, but they are, they're trying to climb back up the ladder. I want to throw just a question out to the chat though. Let me know what you think the Bored Ape token is going to be worth, at least in terms of valuation. I don't know what their distribution is, like what the circulating supply or the total supply will be. So I have no idea what the price of a token will be, but in terms of market cap valuation, what you think it's going to be at within like the first week or so. I'm really interested to see where people predict this thing going. We had a really interesting conversation in the DGen dojo about whether or not it could flip Dogecoin. I honestly, I don't know. I don't see why not eventually, but yeah.
If it's all about attention, then I think it will.
Yeah,
I think it will garner more attention than Doge. Now, I want to quickly answer Treston's question. He says, how long do you think Creeps is sustainable?
Let me pull that up while you're doing
Creeps is over, in the sense that right now they are sitting at, I'm trying
6.4.
Okay? They had gotten up to 10 ETH yesterday. All right. That's a bit of a death knell for these type of games. This is where you start to see it spiral, as people who were happy with 10E are now like, okay, oh shit, it's going down. I'd better unstake. I'd better sell. This is a negative feedback loop. It's going to cause the currency to drop. That said, I'm bullish on Creeps. I'm just not bullish on Creeps at 10 ETH or 7 ETH. I see them falling to 2 to 3 ETH. I think that the utility token will fall to a point that people aren't like excited to talk about. Look, we saw this happen with Orcs. We saw this happen with Wizards and Dragons. We see
Wolf Game,
every one of these games. Wolf Game. They all have this amazing run and peak, and then they pull back and fall down. Now the question is this some fugazi scam like Wolf Game, or is this a legitimate thing that's going to have legs? Creeps is legitimate. Love the Creeps. I just think they got way ahead of themselves here. And, you know, look, it's hard to trade around these things when you're long-term bullish, because once you get out, it's really hard to get back in, so to say. But, you know, I love the Creeps long-term, just not here at 70 or 6.4.
Yeah, I mean, these things tend to, especially when everything's locked up or people are very excited about how much money they're earning every single day. You know, it tends to create people that are holding very, very tightly, creates some supply constraints. As that price starts to get up to a point where like I could just sell this now and walk away from 10 ETH before I risk it crashing, which we see with other games. Yeah. The higher the price goes, the more and more people that are tempted to start selling. When that starts happening and you start to see some sell pressure take over, then all of a sudden you start to see these depressions. The other thing is too, you got to remember that these tokens are constantly being generated. They're going to fall in value. There's going to be inflation in terms of, you know, the total supply, and you know, the longer things go on, if they don't have good burn mechanisms and they're not managing that properly, it's going to continue to decrease in value. And if those decrease in value, the floor price starts to drop. It's a tricky balancing act, but I don't recall any game that I've seen hold that initial, you know, day 2, day 3 valuation over a long term. And that's okay, because it takes way too much money to keep propping that up. And it's an unrealistic amount to enter that ecosystem to maintain that. Like Free Market said, doesn't mean that we're bearish on this project, but just that, you know, the expectations have to ease up a little bit in order for it to be healthy, right?
Everything gets ahead of itself. Lemons got ahead of themselves. Our favorite projects get ahead of themselves. Nothing you could do about it. And, you know, it's just difficult when you're long-term bullish to maybe trade around it. But, man, Creeps got frothy yesterday. 10 ETH. That's a very high price.
Yeah, 10 ETH is incredible. Speaking of another project that people are thinking might go to 10 ETH, checking back in on Azuki. We talked about this a little bit yesterday and said watch for you know, some bigger names or some big wallets to start making a splash. And boy, did they ever. Yesterday, the whale watching and the activity feed was lighting up with like 30, 40, 65 ETH purchases. And the rest of the Azuki market went along with it, sitting at just under 6.5 ETH floor right now. I believe at some point last night it was over 7, if I recall correctly. But big purchases and some high valued Azukis moving hands. We talked about, in the chat, you know, is this programmed that it's 10 ETH? Is it programmed that it's 15 ETH? Sorry, what?
I said no.
Oh, yes, exactly. I agree. And again, like, that's not bearish on the project. But again, like, these things, you know, go so quickly up, and they need to cool down a little bit, let people kind of redistribute, figure it out, and kind of, you know, like we talk about market, reset the sentiment and cool off. Like, it's not just a straight line there. If this thing goes straight to 15 ETH and holds, like, I will be absolutely shocked.
Not happy.
It's exceeded all of my expectations so far, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised with it. But that's going to be a tough ask to go straight to 10 ETH for Azuki. I think it will eventually get there. I think the project is good enough. I think the team is good enough. Their branding is fantastic. I think that they are looking at creating their own branding in terms of, product line, clothing, apparel, rather than partnering with somebody or partnering with another brand. But I think that the expectations need to just like ease up just a little bit.
So 7 is about the limit for a 10,000 PFP collection on its first hype cycle. Okay, these are elites. They will eventually be over 10 ETH. But look at Doodles. Remember Doodles when they launched? That, I mean, it was back and forth for a while, and we all knew they were made men. But like Doodles had its pullbacks, and they were big and they were violent. Azuki was selling 150 ETH a minute at one point yesterday with everything that was moving. The volume on this project it's the craziest I've ever seen. 50K in a week. They've lapped over what they made on the sale, which was one of the largest, fastest sales I had seen from a new team today. And wow, you couldn't have asked for any more if you minted these things. They've been on a rocket ship straight up since then. Last night, I do believe, was the short-term peak for both Creeps and Azuki. We love both these projects. If you're a holder in them, there is nothing to worry about. Short-term peaks happen all the time. But, once you've done this long enough, you could feel these things. Last night was the volume capitulation. You know what I call these? These are our bear market babies. And you know why they're our bear market babies? Because after that frothy blow-off we had a few Saturdays ago, we went into our own little mini bear here with markets collapsing and NFTs cooling off from that peak. Well, we had some great drops during that time. Not a ton, but these were our bear market babies. They did very well. The bear market ended yesterday, so they peaked. They're going to take their rest, and now we're moving on to our tried and true favorites, starting with the blue chips.
I love digging a little bit deeper into these hype cycles and the activity as well, because I'm looking at the highest, and I said 50, 60, 65 ETH. I was completely wrong. 130, 120, 85, 80, 70, like absolutely astounding numbers that these things are putting up. I look at this one, I click on it, it sold for 130 ETH yesterday. Somebody picked this up for a cool 50 ETH only 6 days ago post reveal, and like already flipped it for 2.5x or almost 100, or I guess I can do the math, 80 ETH. Like that's just an incredible trade there. So shout out to that person. And then the tale of two stories right beside it. This one sold for 120 ETH. This person picked it up at 2.74 pre-reveal and diamond handed this into that amazing second run that they had yesterday and flipped it for over 115 ETH basically.
That'll make it later.
No shit, eh? Like two completely different styles. Now, obviously, buying pre-reveal and dinging one of these is a crapshoot, and he got very lucky. But you love to see it, right?
Oh, beautiful. I mean, this is a collection that deserves it. This is a collection that is, absolutely stunning and has all the roadmap items and great stuff going for it. So we expect very big things from Azuki going forward. And congratulations to anyone on that mint. I know we minted a ton of them in the Moon Lounge. So
yeah, big congrats. Yeah. Even if you sold pre-reveal, I mean, minting for 1 ETH and then a day later flipping it for 3 ETH. That's still in today's dollar value, $5,000 win for, a nice day's work. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But as Uncle Free says, don't sell.
Never
sell. I just wanted to bring up WGMI. I know I haven't really been using it lately, and for good reason. But the one thing that I did see, we talked about already with like Bored Apes and Mutant Apes having a good run up. But like a lot of these big projects are starting to do really well, which is a good sign. There's a lot of money flying around the market, and hopefully a lot of money entering the market. Autoglyphs, Twin Flames, Cyberkongs, CryptoPunks, Fidenzas, Ringers, Neo Tokyo, Mutant Ape, Cool Cats hitting a 15 ETH floor. These are all the who's who of NFT projects doing very, very well in the last couple days. And you love to see that too, because it means that I think people are getting bullish on the market as a whole.
Yeah, I see ETH and NFTs rising at the same time. It always puts a pep in my step.
Yeah, 100%. So that was cool. I don't have to go too deep into that. I want to get into an NFT that's dropping today, as somebody pointed out, Fishy Fam. This is got a lot of hype to it. It's a fairly new project that came out, just started posting in December of 2021. Has a lot of followers on Twitter. Discord's very hyped. People are very excited about the pre-sale and the public sale that's going on. 6 p.m. for the whitelist and 10 for the public sale. There's been some maybe some skepticism about it, though. Yesterday they had some issues. I think they got it cleared up that anybody that was like connecting their wallet, everybody, regardless of whether or not they had ever touched Fishy Fam, entered the Discord, done anything, said they were whitelisted. I believe that's been fixed, so I guess good for them. But I wanted to talk about the art because I was looking at this a little bit more in depth.
It's fucking lemons. They copied everything. Look at this. They even copied the little lemons, how they did their little cards to show you what the rarities are. What a shit project. So bearish. I'm going to FUD the nuts off of this thing.
Well, I'm not going to FUD the nuts off of it, but I do want to at least give my honest, hopefully unbiased opinion on what's going on here. I'm not sure if this is rushed, but these little previews about the rarities of the skins and the color of them and whatnot give me a lot of red flags. And I do find it odd that they, wouldn't be putting their best foot forward on their website. I don't know if I can zoom in here a lot, but I'm trying to make these
art is so fucking bad. Like, you don't even have to zoom in, but go ahead.
Yeah. So
look at them trying to get Psyduck in there with that devil. Never happening.
Are you done? I'm trying to talk here, man.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. The website formatting is a little rough, so I'm going to try and do this as best as I can. Okay, so look up here. Clearly, there's some kind of fin trait that's going on here, right? And that's fine. It sits on top of the base layer of the body. These lines don't even remotely line up. Like, they are a different width. I think if you zoom in closely enough, almost like a slightly different color than the black line. And they're not lined up perfectly too. If you zoom in on the image, you can actually see a little bit of a dip in here. And if you start to dig deeper on all of the art that is going on in here, you can see these lines mishmashing everywhere. If you look on the chin line doesn't even line up with the curvature of the cheek. There's like a little dangling line here. You can see it right there as well. This is, I can't say whether or not this is going to come through in the actual NFT or if most people would even notice it, but I see this as their website. It's supposed to be the shining example of what their project is going to be, and it just doesn't look good. And I'm glad that I took a look at it because I saw it and I was like, okay, you got the Cool Cat vibes where they got, they used the gap in the line work a little bit. They definitely borrowed some traits for Little Lemon Friends. I'm less concerned about that as maybe some people. I mean, it's ripe in the NFT space. But in terms of like their line work in their art, it seems very lazy that this is what they would put up on their website. And I don't know. It lacks that like polish that I think a really good project should have. Now, that being said, it's not overly expensive. And if you,
I wonder why.
Well, okay. But I mean, let's at least do some talking through that, because I think with the amount of hype that they did, they probably could have just peeled off 0.08 minted out, no problem. But yeah, I mean, this to me is just like capitalization on that like cute, alien friends, Cool Man's universe, Little Lemon's friends, Cool Cats are having a run, Cool Pets are coming out.
Well, I thought it was nice of them to put the little Cool Cat space closer to the chin instead of up on the head where the normal Cool Cat space is in the line, as if if they wanted to just copy from every project that's out there. This project comes on the scene in a week, okay? Come out of nowhere. They're giving whitelist spots out to everybody. They hype the Discord up, then they close it. This team is impossible to get in touch with, and it's not just me. I know multiple projects that have tried to get answers from this team and can't get answers from them. They're coming at it from a charity angle where they're going to donate to the ocean. Fuck off. I don't believe you for a fucking second. This is a rug I'm saying it right now. This project is going to go to zero. I don't give a shit if it cooks right afterwards. I'm not participating in it because I refuse to dump these on the poor people who are going to go buy these because they think it's a good project. This isn't part of the cute meta. This is part of the rug meta. Fuck off with this shit.
Oh my god, do you need a second to take a breath there? I think you should be a rapper or something.
Well, I'm pissed because I'm in a Lemon Spaces yesterday with 600 people. We had 600 people in this Lemon Spaces, and there were a bunch, and this isn't their fault. They don't know, okay? A lot of these people have come into the NFT market within a month, and they're all excited to mint this thing. This is really not good. I don't want people to lose money on this. 0.03 is not cheap. 0.03 is expensive when it's going to zero.
All right. No, hey, look, this is an important topic and actually not a bad segue into something that I kind of wanted to go off on too. And you know, we don't have the like a huge influence or whatever, but one of the things that like I believe we really have to stop supporting like projects like Fishy Fam, you know, at your own risk. FMC, you know, takes a hard stance on like, you know, the fuck off angle, and that's fine. I don't disagree with him. But I see this. Okay, so look, Primate Planet comes out a couple weeks ago, sitting at a 2.2 ETH floor, tons of volume on it, very successful. Cook for anybody that got in on it and participated in it. We talked about it in the show. They look pretty good for 3D artwork, profile picture, metaverse characters. They're realistic, but only to an extent. They have some you know, some emotion, some looks, and some character features of it, some good traits. Okay, great. Primate Planet, it's a Cook. And then 2 weeks after they mint out, they're already releasing Prime Kong Planet. So was this either planned? Is it low effort? Or are they just copy and pasting their own project? And they're giving everybody the right to mint these, but they create a new Twitter page. They literally, except for, I don't know if it's 9,797 because the Primate Planet was 7,979, but they literally just copy and pasted this, a unique collection of X3D hand-drawn, it's fucking 3D, Prime Apes stored on the Ethereum network, a unique collection of X3D hand-drawn Prime Kongs stored on the Ethereum network. Like, what kind of cash grab shit is this? I mean, they were charging a pretty penny for these. They're sucking tons of royalties out of the ecosystem. And then you go a little bit deeper. They don't say that they're affiliated, but you pull up Big Cats. It looks the exact fucking same with a fur trait on it. And look, a unique collection of 3D hand-drawn Big Cats living in the metaverse, made by well-known Marvel artists. Who are the well-known Marvel artists? We don't fucking know. Well-known Marvel artists. They probably have thousands of fucking artists on staff, right?
They've literally hired artists from North Korea. I am not saying this as a joke. Disney was caught, and not their fault. They hired a team in Asia to make their animation. That team outsourced it to North Korea. I shit you not. Saying that you've worked on a Disney movie means nothing. It means nothing.
Well, let's go a little bit deeper, though. Okay? Click on it again. Oh, Alpha Kong's Club. It's the same fucking thing. Like, how many of these projects are we going to let mint out an exclusive club of Alpha Kongs made by artists behind Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Pokemon, and more? Who the fuck are these people? It's the same artwork. It's literally the same eyes on all of these different projects. This is just one team laughing all the way to the bank as people in NFTs give them tens of millions of dollars, and they are just cashing out and living their best fucking lives while they suck liquidity out of the NFT market. We need to stop supporting this shit. If you see it, you need to, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to, I guess I am trying to rally the troops. It needs to, like, it just needs to go away. It's so bad for this ecosystem, and people are happily doing it. If you think this is a degen play and you think that this is a good flip opportunity, I mean, all the power to you. But at the end of the day, we are just still, you're giving money to this team when you mint it, and you are taking money from somebody else that's going to inevitably get rugged, because these things are just, they're going to die because these teams don't care about the longevity of their project. They will just flip it into a chimpanzee project. They'll flip it into a leopard project. They'll flip it into a fucking 3D animated frogs project. I don't know. They're all going to have the same goddamn eyes, and people are just going to keep giving them money. until we start rejecting this. So please, 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 I'm just saying, I'm not ever participating in this. I don't care if somebody is going to say you can flip it for a quick 3x and laugh all the way to the bank.
Dumping on someone who's gonna lose a bunch of money, and this person
and it's always people from Instagram, as Free Market pointed out. It's always from people from Instagram who think they're in on the next big thing. They're coming into the NFT ecosystem. They're going to overpay for something because they don't know how to mint it, and they're going to get fucking wrecked. And you wonder why people always say NFTs, they're scams, blah, blah, blah. It's because of shit like this is literally a fucking scam.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, it needs to stop. Please, please, please. Something I don't think is a scam, if we want to segue into that, is Sappy Seals and what they're building. Sappy Seals is on quite a run right now. 0.86 floor. It went as low in September as 0.02. It's definitely climbed up out of that trench, even in the last bear market and whatnot.
Below 50x there, huh?
Yeah, nice little win. We definitely have had some people in Alpha Mint, being good, adamant Sappy Seal supporters.
Shout out Adam Soresco, big seal maxi. He has been telling us to get these seals for I don't know how long, and man, he was right. And R2, tell us about this PixlVerse. Oh boy.
Yeah, so they've got a little metaverse called the PixlVerse that they've been building. And, we always say good teams keep working through the bear markets and whatnot. This team, I believe, has been doing so, and kudos to them. I do not own any Sappy Seals or anything else related to it, but this looks good. I just saw it pop up on Twitter yesterday. I actually should find it. But they actually have an ecosystem working. They're releasing PixlPets through the Sappy Seals kind of brand. And they're all going to exist in this really cool, old school, like Super Nintendo style looking PixlVerse. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for where this is going. I'm definitely going to try and get it on PixlPets because they have a great looking roadmap. There's utility to the pixel token that they have, and it's really cool because if you go to their marketplace, I think I have the wrong page pulled up here. I did have it up. Anyways, if you go to the marketplace, you can use these tokens to buy, decorations for your house or a new house or, a statue or something like that. And it's actually really quite intricate and well thought out. So, I don't know if you have any more color that you want to add to it, but this is looking like it's going to be a really, really good project. And shout out to the Sappy Seals team who have continued to build it.
Yeah, I never bought Sappy Seals because they didn't speak to me. And, we talk about all the time, there's just so many projects out there. You just don't have time to buy anything that doesn't grab you completely. So I never knocks it, especially, me. I'm about communities, right? Like when I tweeted out about Creature Toads and I get 45 retweets from that community, I know they're lively, they're there, something's still going on.
Yeah, I found it. Look at this. Sorry, while you're talking.
Oh, yeah. No, same with Sappy Seals. I mean, this community was nonstop, always there, never mattered how low the price went. And boy, these PixlPets look next level. While Sappy Seals art was never up my alley, I want to buy one just to be part of this PixlVerse. I don't know if the snapshot already happened yet or how it's worked, but you could be damn sure this is why these things went from 0.4 to almost a 1 ETH floor right now, and it looks worth it. This looks fun. This looks good. I'm loving this. And again, big shout out to Adam, who has been really deep in that community for a long time, tried to turn us all on. We didn't listen. 50x now.
Yeah. Look, I kind of bashed on the Fishy Fam art. I can't bash on this because it's really goddamn good. Like this little teaser trailer that they put together is stunning. It's this is good shit. So I would be on the watch out for that, and maybe we can reach out to the team or something. And if anybody has any connections and wants to set us up, I would love to talk about this.
Cass, if you have a Sappy Seal friend, then you can get in. Does that mean like the Sappy Seal itself? Are they called Sappy Seal friends? Or does that mean if I know someone who has one, I could get in the pixel drop?
Hologram, remind me.
Hi, Cass. I know you.
Remind me, Hologram, about Killer GF and Lives of Asuna, because I actually don't know anything about it. But
this is the white
market to get fired out.
Cobain. These are the NFTs that you want to take out to dinner. They're good looking. They're sexy. They're enticing. I feel like this is what people want to represent them in the metaverse. This idea that we want to be like realistic and equal and fair and all. If that were true, we would just exist in the real world. We're all out here uggling it around every day, left and right. We got to interact with these people. We want to be beautiful in the metaverse.
What is it? Killer GF NFT?
Killer
girlfriends. Okay. I'm just looking for it right now. Bear with me. It's sometimes hard to find these things.
I haven't bought any of these waifus.
Oh, KGF. I saw that bit on the whale watching in the mint stream, and I actually didn't even click on it. Okay, free market. Let's. You got more on that? You're talking about girlfriends, metaverse, all of that stuff. Let's go.
Well, I just think that a good looking female appeals to both males and females. I think this is what people are missing. This is what
I suspect this was drawn by males.
This is universally. I think that's besides the point. This is universally loved. Okay, this is an aesthetic that resonates with 99% of people on Earth, 92% of people on Earth. So let us watch this meta closely. These are expensive mints. I don't know if we could consider this in the same meta as the simp dowing that's going on.
I think we can.
Can we?
I think so, yeah. Hey, look, I mean, yeah, the art's good. This is, for fear of being ridiculed, I don't know that this stuff speaks to me, but yeah, you got more? I'm sorry, you're cutting out, or not cutting out. You sound a little underwater there for a second.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah, I appreciate you. What was the other one?
I forgot. What did I say? Oh, c'est très joli. Très joli, hein? C'est belle. C'est belle.
Je ne parle pas français. Lives of Asuna NFT? Question mark.
That's what I was
going to click of the day.
In business just pointed out, and good job going with the undoxed YouTube today, by the way. Can't group these with Irene DAO. I agree. I mean, this is more your classic PFP. The Irene DAO, the Ella DAO, that's more of like your attention getter meme category. I don't consider that the waifu category necessarily. I think while it's the same customer, they're different metas.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, this stuff is like, I'm not in the anime world or the manga world or anything like that. I have no disrespect towards it, but I'm just like one that's like, I don't know.
If that wind picks up, that skirt's not going to be doing its job.
Okay. So this one looks like it's minting in 1 day and 3 hours. If Killer Girlfriend, Killer KGF is any indication of how these things can go. It's doing all right. 1.36 floor and 4,500 ETH in volume, and these things have been flying. How many of these do you own?
None.
None?
None.
Are you just saying that? Blink twice if you no, I'm kidding.
I am very happy.
Who minted these? What? Let me know. I just did anyone in Alpha Mint or anybody listening mint these? Yeah. There's no disrespect. I'm just asking.
Disrespect. This is quality. This is
no. I'm not saying it to like. I'm not saying it to like point you out or anything. I'm curious if people got in on this. I actually just completely went under my radar. Can't group these with Irene DAO.
No.
Gaswar was bad on this.
Okay. Shout out to Ben Milk, the homie who's got the Ella DAOs as PFP. Ella be responding to him all the time too. Shoot your shot, homie.
All right, what else did we have to talk about today? We did PixlVerse. We went on some tangents about different styles of art. Let's check in on my homies in Decentraland, which we talked about yesterday. It did mint out, I think, unfortunately, but it's sitting at a 0.2 ETH floor pre-reveal. Trading a little bit, not super hyped, but it looks like there's some definite volume on it. But it did mint out at 0.142 ETH. So not a crazy cook when you factor in any gas that you paid plus the royalties they're going to take. I don't expect this to continue on being something crazy, but I mean, we'll at least watch it and check in from time to time. Again, I think it was very disappointing that the art that you see here in the middle of the banner is not the art that they actually did for the profile pictures. And yeah, any final takes on my homies in Dreamland before we put it to rest?
What's sad here, I think, is that these would be 0.2 almost no matter what they priced it at. And instead of saying, let's give our customer base or our fans a nice cook here, they said, fuck you, we want all this money. So that's what's a little disappointing here to me.
What is MIP? What are people saying MIP for? MIP.
MIP?
MIP. I don't know. Someone's saying facts. Oh, Kings to 10th. Yeah. Kaiju. MIP is a mint, though. I don't... You guys and your acronyms. I'm too old for this.
Spell out MIP for us. Yes, Kings to 10th. Season 3 is correct. Kaiju Kings. First of all, when I say Kaiju,
yeah, let's talk about Kaijus. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna let you riff on it, and I will just be right back because I know that you can talk about this for a while.
Because we had a fun show at the end of last year where we talked about 2022 with some of our predictions where I picked Kaiju Kings to go to a 10th floor. And maybe I didn't clarify it then. I meant the Kaiju babies, all right? We know Kaiju Genesis is sitting above 5 ETH right now, and I know that they're going much, much higher here this year. I think the babies are going to hit 10 ETH, okay? The babies are sitting at 2 ETH right now. And this is the most slept on potential blue chip in the entire game right now. The Genesis have a 3,333 supply. They're sitting at 5 ETH right now. 20 or 30 ETH for those is not out of the question. These legendaries we're looking at are just some of the best in the game. They have mutants coming down the pike with the FE, those special NFTs that are now themselves topping 1 ETH. That was a free airdrop for those who were late. And it was actually the NFT you were given originally if you were early. They had to migrate contracts, and they made quite possibly the best and slickest move for that migration possible by creating these failed experiment NFTs. Kaijus started yesterday morning. We saw a genie sweep of about 9. And I'll preface this with, I watched the bot on my favorite projects very closely. Kaijus had been moving quite steadily for a few days. Not sweeps, but, 1 or 2 selling every 20 or 30 minutes. This was after the bot had been quiet for a long time, okay? And all of a sudden around, 9 or 10 a.m. yesterday morning, someone broke out the genie, swept 9 babies in a Genesis. And from that point on, the Kaiju bot went, and it was nonstop. We were moving babies, 1 or 2 every 10 minutes. They are on quite the run right now, going into their latest town hall, which is going to be this weekend. I will get that exact date for you before the end of the show. But the team over there with Dots and Matzo are as good in the game as it gets. The pixel art was the best pixel art to come out last year. Kaijus went through quite the bear market as the hype went down because they experienced what was arguably the largest organic hype cycle that's ever happened in NFTs. They were due to cool down. They had gotten up to a 7 ETH floor on the Genesis. They pulled back all the way to 1.2 during the bear market. The babies were down to 0.5 during this bear market, and we're even talking about the rares, and this was in early to mid-December. And now they're just on a rocket ship again. And, I can't tell you how bullish I am on Kaijus. This is the collection that's going to appeal to younger rappers, younger celebrities. If apes and punks are for the crowd that's already, quote unquote, made it, this is going to be for your up and coming stars. I think Kaijus have a big, big year ahead of them. And I just want to shout out the whole team over there who is professional, competent, and executing at such a high level.
Yeah, I find it fascinating because if you had said that Kaiju was the best pixel art that we've seen 2 months ago, I don't think I would have agreed with you. But the more that I've started doing pixel art and working with that medium, the more and more I agree with that statement, and I will explain why. I just want to point you to Joshua's comment. If you had the chance, pick up a Kaiju Genesis or 2 baby Kaijus. Other than not gaining R waste, what are the disadvantages?
Right now, none. So I would actually say for most people, the baby is the better play here. And it's because the biggest utility kaijus and quite frankly all NFT have are their community. And I know that sounds cheesy or overused or like what the fuck does that even mean, but the connections and the alpha you get in the gated area of the kaiju room is more than worth the price of admission, right? So you get that with a baby right now. Now, if you want to have a Genesis so that you can produce R waste, there are all sorts of things that R waste is going to be used for in this economy coming down the pike. But Kaiju Kings never minced words about it. They were building, right? They launched this project, and now Augmented Labs has been head down building a video game, a literal tactile move with your hands video game. We're not talking about a standard staking protocol like everything else here. I think Augmented Labs is so slept on. Kaijus are so slept on. I don't understand it, but I think this year we will bear out that they were just extremely undervalued given what this team has on the dock.
Yeah, and bro, I fucking love these as profile pictures. Like it's one of those ones that you always know when somebody has a kaiju as their PFP. Like it's unmistakable. I want to talk about why the art is so good and like what I've learned. And I want to compare it to a project that I don't think anybody ever said like the art was the best you've ever seen, but like there were a lot of people saying that it was really good, and I don't believe that it was, and that's Project Draka. I got no love or hate for this project. It kind of hasn't done very well. But the initial like knee-jerk reaction to Project Draka was like, oh, look how detailed it is. Look at all of the, you know, the different colors and all of that stuff. Like if this was like in like some old school video game, like it would be considered very good pixel art. But for a profile picture, what happens is when these get downscaled, the resolution on this is actually a lot higher than on the Kaiju, meaning they use more pixels per, picture. When you start to put these into a profile picture, all of those little details get less and less apparent. They get scaled down and it gets very muddled, right? It doesn't look clean on the profile picture anymore, and it just looks like a mess, if I'm being honest with you, right? The other thing that this project didn't keep in mind is that these go in a circle and half of it gets fucking cut off. I digress. Kaijus, on the other hand, don't have that amount of detail, and a lot of times people just assume detail is quality, or just that idea. When you're doing stuff with pixel art, less is more, right? And one of the reasons why these make incredible profile pictures and just incredible art is because they are able to kind of transmit so much detail with not a lot of detail, if that makes any kind of sense, right? If you look at this kaiju, they only use 2 colors on the entire thing, maybe a third one on the edge of the nose there. But it is so clear and obvious what it is. It's so clear that it has scales, it has horns, it's got these big eyes that look great, nostrils, mouth, all of that stuff is portrayed with like literally 2 colors and then one like slight accent color. All of these do that. Like the chains, the glasses obviously have a lot of different colors in it, but that makes it pop. Like it's so good. And the more that I've looked at this stuff, free market just dropped out, but the more that I've looked at this stuff, the more and more I continue to just be impressed with everything that they've done. Like this chain is just absolutely incredible. This mecha is so good. This hat is so good. The Santa hat, like all of it. So, I mean, I've never been a super bull on kaijus, partially because I've never owned one. But yeah, when free market says they're slept on, like I don't even think that they are. That's remotely an understatement. And I would look for this to continue just being an absolute banger and an absolute force in the future. There's also some rumors that Dots is maybe moving into galactic ape space too. I don't know, but I that's a little unsubstantiated, but if anybody has any information on that, I would love to hear it. Galactic Apes is another project that I always thought the art was top tier on, but it was just one that, maybe the focus on the project wasn't exactly perfect. I'm a little misled. Free market, welcome back. I'm not sure if he's clearly having technical difficulties, but yeah, free market definitely the biggest kaiju bull I know, and the community. Dots is running too many places. IMO, maybe. I mean, some people are just built like that, right? You talk about Elon Musk being the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla at the same time. If you hire and you delegate properly, and you're a good manager of people, you can definitely do it. Free market. You there? Are you there? Okay, so I'm going to do two things right now. One, I'm going to put the Restream link into the AM show chat for any Moon Loungers that want to come out and hang out with us. Maybe you want to get in on the rants that we had, or you want to provide the counterpoint. I'd love to hear it. I am definitely not going to be detracting from anybody's opinion if they believe that one of the projects that we were kind of not very bullish on has a better case. Says I'm on but no green sound bars. Yeah, dude, I'm not sure. I'm assuming he can hear me. Cass is jumping up here. Cass wants to pre-host. Maybe try and log out of Restream and log back in free market. Maybe that's where we're would be good. I'm not sure. Never had this problem before. The last thing that I wanted to touch on, and we wanted to touch on, free market and I got to interview Darlington, the CEO of. How about this? Are we good? Damn, what's going on? This is his sneaky way of sneaking out of the show and getting into the lemon squeeze. I swear, I'm going to be watching that Twitter space for you, man. We interviewed Mike Darlington from Monstercat, and for those of you who don't know, that Monstercat is a big for Twitch and YouTube streamers to be able to play music that doesn't get DMCA'd. A lot of times, if you play, a Jay-Z song or a Beyonce song or a Taylor Swift song or whatever, and you just have it, not the algorithm, the bots that kind of troll the videos, flag them and pull the videos automatically down. There you are. I can hear you.
Whoa. There we go. All right.
He back.
I'm back with a backwards F, but we'll deal with that.
Yeah, that's okay. Put the F's in chat. Yeah, so he founded a company called Monstercat, which is a subscription per service and record label for anti-DMCA uses. That actually was pretty revolutionary in terms of how big streaming was getting, how big creator content is getting, and all of the issues with DMCA that people were having. So, he really kind of changed things. They produce a lot of music for video games and all of that stuff, like quite a big deal. And if you're in that space, you've probably heard of Monstercat. They just dropped Relics yesterday, which is the NFT version of the the platform that they're doing. So they have all of these real world songs. Maybe they get played on radio. They get used in video games and whatnot. And as they grow in popularity and the more plays that they end up getting and the more licensing deals that they end up using, your NFT actually scales up in terms of the rarity and can change, which I thought was really cool. It is definitely paving the way for a lot of the music, NFT music kind of things that we've been talking about. Based
and
on
this reminds.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, based on what they've achieved in the past, like I think that this is a good team to be doing it.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of the art balls from the Australian Open, because if your ball is in a match winner, the metadata changes and it becomes more rare. So I think this is a really interesting angle that you're seeing a lot of projects do now, is that real world events, whether it's the playing of a song or whether it's a game-winning shot in tennis, actually affect the NFT. And man, we're so early on that. Like, I don't mean so early in the investment sense like we always use. Just where this technology and these ideas can go is so exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the one thing that he did mention is that like owning the NFT isn't owning the rights to the song. So we're not quite there yet, just in terms of like the legality of record labels, how they're interacting with their clients and their artists and all of that. But a step in the right direction. Sold out very quickly. and is doing all right too. I mean, these were at like $399 yesterday on Marketplace before, so they're getting some traction. They went on to do a really good Spaces after with Farouk, and I'm very happy for the success that they're seeing, because like I said, I think that they're a good company that's very forward looking, and honestly trying to provide solutions for artists, content creators, and consumers alike. There's a really good balance that can be struck there. And, we're not there yet, but it's companies like this that are working towards it. Oh, free market. Struggling. The Kaiju's back. My friend.
See,
are
I
you
had
there?
to get my Kaiju back. All right, we're all good.
Yeah, you had to do it. It just didn't feel right with the backwards F. It's all good. Now if you're talking, oh geez. Anywho, let's bring Cass up on stage, and we'll have a chat while we're waiting for free market to get back up here. I'm gonna pull the killer GF off of the main screen there and say GM to you, Cass.
GM, how you going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. You're good.
GM FMC. No, I was just listening to the things that we were saying today, and yeah, I just wanted to I don't know, talk a bit about what you were talking about. I think the first one was the copycats.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, copycats. I have the same sentiment as you guys in regards of why the fuck are you doing something just to copy, just to kind of make money and not really care about anyone or anything about it, and just using kind of shitty tactics. But all right, little man. But you can hear my little man in the background. He's telling me off at the moment.
Chatty, yeah.
Hello.
So he so sorry guys.
It's all good, man.
In regards of sorry, he's actually taking my chain of thought away.
We're talking about the 3D meta, all these copycats, and how maybe it's the same team of artists just using the different parts of their resume. Oh, I work for Marvel. Oh, I work for Disney. And the reason it's so scummy because I think, when your average person thinks of NFTs, this is what they think of. They think it's all 3D and futuristic and we're all Tron and everything's supposed to look like that's what they think of 3D is. They don't understand the depth of the industry. They don't understand what it can be. And that's why this feels so scummy. They're not scamming you and me. They're scamming people who have no idea what's going on here.
No, 100%. And the whole artist from Marvel or artist from X, Y, and Z. I'm not being funny. You don't even have to be involved fully within the production to be classed as an artist.
Yeah, for real.
Do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when I for example, when I have done video productions for companies, one of my telltale things is the camera person has worked for BBC. They think, oh my God, because in people's perception, they think, that must be the producer or the director. No, it was just a camera assistant who knows how to use a camera. But
craft services. I brewed coffee for the actors. Yeah,
exactly. So it's kind of scummy, and I don't really like it. But then I think I was talking in the moon lounge, and we were talking about something like this, why copies are coming around and so on and so forth. And I can't remember who it was, but they turned around and said, which is such a valid point. Why would you come up with something new and unique which could take you months to do, when you can copy something within 2 days, get a dev to kind of smack it out, pay someone to kind of shill it, and you made your same amount of money anyway?
Well, you don't even need a dev. They're probably just copy pasting the contract and just rehashing it. My gut check reaction is to say that this is our fault, but I don't think that that's actually fair. I think in some regard, like, we should, as a community, start to reject these things, even just the participation in it, if it means a quick buck. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do in that regard, but that's my gut feeling. But I don't think it's our fault, because I think that these people are preying on what Free Market said, which is that a group of people that don't know any better and think that this is the next hyped NFT because they paid a couple of Instagram accounts, you know, centered around NFTs, or some influencers or models to put this up on their story. You know, people always hear like, oh God, people are making so much money in NFTs. Like, I think I missed the boat. And then all of a sudden this opportunity comes along and they're like, I got to get on this one. Like, I can't miss out on it. And maybe a couple people hit it big with it, but eventually it just starts, you know, the things start crumbling. And the worst part is that maybe there's somebody that went out and bought 2 ETH or 3 ETH or 5 ETH with money. They never owned it before. And they're like, man, these you know, these prime Kong planets are the next Bored Apes. Like 5 ETH is nothing when they go to 100 ETH, and they think that that's real. And it's just, it's not. These projects do not care about the long-term success. It's all about getting that mint for 0.2, cashing out their, you know, their 1,500 ETH that they do every time they rehash one of these. And, you know, once it stops working, they'll leave, and it's fine. But we just have to get to the point where it stops working.
Oh, 100%. And it is a worry, because over the past 2 weeks, I've been approached by 3 devs to do projects similar to this. And they were asking, oh, can you market it? Can you put it in your communities and stuff? And I was like, okay, so how long will it take you to do something like this? And they were like, oh, it'll take us 2 days. And I was like, how do you think you can build any sort of community within 2 days?
Jeez.
And they're like, oh, yeah, 4 different devs, dude, have approached me with shit like this. Wow. And yeah, hearing what you guys are saying, also in regards of the Ape Prime fake project, yeah, I kind of felt it, because it is unfair for a lot of people. It is unfair.
People are gonna get burned.
Those 7 ETH is a crime. Those things are going to fall so hard. I don't, you know, it's, you know, what can you do? What can you do? I don't know what to say. I mean, we make people aware, and just like, look, we saw a ton of different types of scams during last year's bull market too. There's always some sort of cash grab meta that permeates. And
let me tell you about ICOs. Boy,
another thing in regards to that, we all kind of know this shit happened, but no one has really come out to make some sort of substantial educational material for the NFT market for newbies to come in. Everyone talks about they're going to do it, but no one has really quite captured it. I mean, I remember when you know, crypto dads, that was their thing. We're going to help the new people come in. And they kind of done like 2 videos and that was it. 6 months later, there's no education.
I'm going to respectfully chime in there and just say, like, it's not that it shouldn't or doesn't exist. It's that when people get caught up in that hype cycle, they don't want to hear about how they could potentially lose. It's all about how they could win. And unfortunately, that's where all the clicks go to. That's where everything kind of centers around. It's only after people get burned that they're like, what did I do wrong? Or they just go back to Instagram and start chirping about how NFTs are a scam. And because in fairness, their experience has been that.
The majority of NFT videos and content you see at YouTube all start with the same phrase. Next 100X question mark? Next Bored Apes question mark? It's such a scummy part of this market.
It's awful, man. Then there was the fact, I think it was FMC was talking about community and kaijus, and you know, maybe sounding a bit repetitive or sounding a bit like sicky or kind of, yeah, in regards of the whole community thing. But if we kind of break the bones down of majority of NFT projects, most of them are picturing a future dream. So what have you really got to hold yourselves together apart from a community? That was my argument with that.
So right.
You know, because I mean, even let's just look at AlphaMint, okay? I have said in chat and the rest of it that my knowledge has grown tenfold by being around the guys in AlphaMint. Yeah, that's a community. You aren't offering nothing apart from education, okay? And that was the value. It's worth a fuckload more. What I've learned is worth a fuckload more than 0.1 ETH. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
So that's something I think a lot of people should consider as well, is community.
I mean, we try to provide some like external value in the forms of some raffles and whitelists and all that stuff, and like good things coming up with that.
Like
but
cool
at its core,
and raid party.
Yeah,
I saw that.
At its core, right? Like you're right, it is about knowledge and it's about information, and we're centered around helping you use that information in the best way possible, but never dictating what you should or shouldn't be doing, right? And that's why it's important. Like we don't want people to feel shame when they have to sell something, because that might be part of their risk tolerance or their strategy or anything like that, or shame for buying something. Just because FMC and I are up here being bearish on something doesn't mean that you have to follow our lead. And I'm more than happy for you if you get it right when we're wrong. Like that's fine. But at its core, it's about the knowledge, right?
But then even saying that, the way that you guys approach it, you don't dictate the information as it's like some sort of, golden alpha. You talk about it like as in a bunch of friends. Even in the Moonland room, like there would be, I mean, in the voice chat, like in some communities, because you guys do a show and are popular and so on and so forth, the moment that you guys come into the voice chat, there will be some communities that will be like, oh my God has turned up. Okay. But it's not like that in the Moon Lodge, and everyone is like treated as an equal, which is more friendship. And that's one of the core things that help communities go forward. I mean, even with Sappy Seals, now, same as you guys, when I saw Sappy Seals, I think it was 0.35 at one point, people saying, oh, they're a great community and they're this and they're that. And I looked at it and I thought, I'm not sure. I'm not keen on the art. Like, I'm not sure. But
that was me too.
Yeah. So, and then when I went into there recently, because a friend of mine who's got one, he was talking about them and said, like, I can get you on a whitelist for PixlVerse if you want. And I was like, yeah, I'll have that, thank you. And he told me to come into the server, and for something, if you look at the statistics of 10K drop, 1,800, individual holders. But you see how strong that community is and the way that they kind of got each other's. But even the fact of someone coming to me and saying, there you go, mate, here's a whitelist. And I've only known the guy for the best part of like 2-3 weeks. So, yeah, community is a big, strong thing, man. I've got to agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think my only qualm is that everyone knows it's a big thing. So it's used as a keyword to try to sell shitty projects, right? People pretend there's a community where there isn't, because they look at Cool Cats, they look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, they realize the killer use there is this amazing community they've built. And you know what? It's easy to make the trappings of one and make it look like a community. Look at Fishy Fam. We got 500 people in the spaces every day. There's 50,000 in the Discord. Hype. We're the biggest, freshest community. It's because they all want your money. It's because they're all trying to buy your NFT to try to make some money. Nobody cares about that community.
It's definitely the dark side of the pseudonymous economy, and the, everything's verifiable on the blockchain, sure, but you, at the end of the day, you don't know who these people are and where it's going to, especially when they start using, the tornado cash and all of that stuff, right? But it's at a point where, like, the upstanding NFT citizens have to just kind of do their diligence and just start to reject it. It will wash out. It will. People smarten up. The markets become more efficient, and that's why we see metas changing. We see a lot less of the whitelist grind meta going down now too, because it's just such a false way of manufacturing any kind of community. And you've got 8 discords where you're just spamming in every chat and all of that stuff. Like, it doesn't work anymore, and people are growing tired of it. And that's just because the market is getting smarter and rejecting it. And I think that that's the right way to do it. It will naturally evolve. We just, kind of sometimes got to buckle down and hopefully do it faster.
100%. And then probably the last thing I wanted to talk about, Asian NFTs. MIP. That's why I must have messaged MIP. They're one of the first Asian NFTs that I kind of noticed. And then, being a part of them, very hyped, loads of people. But then I had done a giveaway to go to win something at another Asian NFT.
MAYC Identity Protocol. Got it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's that one there. Yeah, and then there was another one that I got invited to on whitelist recently called Ali and his friends. Now, the one thing that kind of has piqued my interest on this is obviously one, the population size of Asia. Two, if they're using Mandarin or other languages that are used in Asia to communicate as a main hub, that shows that they're more catering for the Asian market. Then another thing which I noticed with the Ali Friends one, you know, where normally we would look for Twitter, we would look for Instagram to kind of see engagement. These guys are obviously using Tencent products, which is all Asian based. So we can't really we can if we want to take our time and, you know, translate everything that we want to, and some of them do have English as a secondary, so we can read it in English. But I can really see this Asian market with these Asian NFTs. There's going to be a lot of fakes. Let's not get it twisted. But I think these Asian NFTs could be something to look out for, as in terms of a good cook. Not just MIP, but just in general.
These look interesting. I've never seen them before, but I'm pulling them up. I've definitely seen the name as well. You know, eventually
the way it works out is, as you can see at the moment, you got a head. Yeah. So you've got a head. Then at some point you buy the body, a mecha body. Then you buy a pet, and then you run into the game. What was interesting about these, when these guys done their Genesis versions, I think their lowest, I'll see if I can bring it up. I think their lowest one was like 3-4 ETH. Hold up a second, let me check. Current floor is 4.88 ETH. I think some were bought at 1.7 ETH, 3.6 ETH on auction, 2.9 ETH, 5.5 ETH. And yeah, the floor at the moment is 4.88 ETH. But again, it seemed like the people that were buying it were from the Asian continent whilst they were bidding, because when they were celebrating in the server, I couldn't understand it. I had to, you know. So yeah, it could be something to look out for going forward. Not necessarily right now, but just something to keep an eye on if the Asian market keeps going the way it is at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people to come online. There's a lot of money to be spent, and you know, there's there's a bunch of other markets too that you could look out for. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see if they'll be using the same blockchains, or if there's another like layer one that will really kind of catch steam, the same marketplaces, etc. There's a lot of different dynamics going on there, but so far it's been exciting to see that start to pick up steam too.
Yeah, it is. I think they're minting tomorrow. Tomorrow on the 28th.
The MIP? Yeah,
it's a free mint as well.
Yeah, so it's sitting at 0.2 for a free mint. Not too shabby at all.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming up.
Hey, thank you. And I'll hopefully speak to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Cass.
Take care.
Freemark, you still there? Oh, man, if you've been talking, I don't know. I can't hear you now.
Sorry. I've been having technical difficulties all morning. I apologize. This was actually showed to me yesterday by Venom, so I want to shout out to Venom. And I'm always amazed at how there's so many great projects out there I have no awareness of.
Yeah.
They have a huge Discord, comes out of nowhere, and certainly looks like it's going to be one of today's cooks. I know nothing about it except the homie tried to turn me on, and my bandwidth is just I don't even know if I can at this point. But it looks great. I know it's separate mints, right? Like you mint the thing and then that thing they're in.
Yeah, there's different multiple things.
Totally educated, but yeah, looks like a cool one. I hope a lot of Alpha Man members are in on that.
Yeah, no, they actually do look really good. I mean, sometimes vehicles and stuff like that, which is what this is based on, don't always do super hot, but seems to be going in the right direction right now. I actually just saw something that you posted on Twitter, or I guess maybe shared on Twitter with the that Gizmodo article. Was that you?
Yes. Did you like that?
Yeah, I just, you know what? I thought this was a good opportunity to have a little bit of a funeral service for all of the celebrities that we've lost to NFTs. So, you know, rest in peace to them. Lil Nas X, rest in peace. Serena Williams, rest in peace. Who else we got? Edward Snowden, rest in peace for buying an NFT. Very, very sad. We lost him. Tony Hawk, that's a shame. He was a good skateboarder, so rest in peace to him.
Gizmodo not going to make it.
Matt Damon, great actor, lost him to NFTs. Rest in peace, Matt Damon.
Could I tell you something?
William Shatner, oh my God, not him too. Yeah, tell me something.
Can I tell you something that just happened to me?
What happened?
So we talked about the lemon spaces that went till 4:30 a.m. last night. Now, yeah. I've had hundreds of followers because we were giving, I mean, Flo Stradamus followed me. It became like a celebrity. It was just nuts.
I have heard you say that 18 times. No, I'm kidding.
Now listen.
It's awesome.
All of a sudden, I start getting messages. Hey, is this contest still open? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? This space ended 6 hours ago. The lemon space is still going right now on hour 15. There's 77 people in the lemon space. 15 hours. They have now gone. My mind is blown. What is happening?
Yeah, I saw them this morning. They were doing like the morning squeeze pre-show, and I'm like, Jesus, these guys have like a full entertainment channel. They have like cooking network channels, and the evening squeeze, the morning squeeze, a pre-show now apparently. Lemons after dark.
Talk about community, guys. This isn't forced. Like, I'm not even screwing with you guys. This is a manufacturer. These people are out of their lemon minds, and we're here for it.
Out of their lemon minds. God, I hope none of these celebrities buy a lemon. God, that would be terrible. Steph Curry, rest in peace.
Yeah. Barack Obama. An ape would be too gauche for him. It would be too fancy. You know, he's the people's president. I think a lemon is right up his alley.
Yeah, well, you had a presidential lemon, didn't you?
I did. I actually posted it. I posted a little meme, Barack Obama times Little Lemon Friends collab, and yeah, that was a good one. I dare you to find it in my 673,000 messages from the last.
You have been tweeting like a goddamn madman.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, rest in peace to all of the beautiful celebrities that we have lost down the NFT shithole. On that note, if there's anything else, what else you want to talk about? Anything? How are we feeling?
Oh man, I think we covered it today. We were spicy, we were fired up, and it is going to be a great day in NFTs. Markets are really trying to put that bottom in. We got a couple good mints, starting with MIP, and yeah, let's see, up only, baby.
Joshua just said excited for the Pixelmon Twitter space today. I'm gonna check that out. I hear a lot about that project, so it could be interesting. I think we're doing a Twitter Spaces tonight too, right? With Maz. It's Wednesday.
With Maz, we are doing a Twitter Spaces. Let's not announce it yet, as we're going to hammer down the details, as Maz was one of the little lemons who was stuck in that space till 6 odd time in the morning. So let's coordinate.
Yeah,
we got some space as well.
We've been discussing we're gonna do like kind of a weekly NFT like space kind of week in review or something on Twitter, just to have a little bit extra fun and some more content. Definitely different than what we do here. And Maz is amazing. If you guys have never
invested, that was worth me.
Over invested.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Over invested.
Actually, for the Alphamint crew that's in here, which I assume is most of you, and if you're not, get in there because it's an amazing community. We had a really good team meeting yesterday, and we're excited to announce that we're going to be doing a weekly town hall for Alphamint as well. Just a little kind of weekly wrap up, give some shout outs to some great members that are been participating, and bring some of the members up to just chat and talk all things Alphamint over the course of the last week, and just kind of give everyone an extra voice. And that's one of the reasons why it's a great community, and we want to continue growing with you guys. So that's gonna be really fun to do as well. All right, my friend. If nobody else has any questions in the chat, I think we can probably look to wrap this up.
Rug Radio is moving almost.
Is that still? Oh, we didn't even talk about Rug Radio.
Wow. Well, we'll talk tomorrow. It'll be a good conversation tomorrow. There's stuff happening there. So.
Yeah. We need to do a bit of a deeper dive in there because there's something there, and love him or hate him, Farouk has a finger on the pulse of NFTs. That's for sure.
300 allow list spots for that cool pets. He's popular.
Yeah, nothing. That's absolutely for sure. When I click Alpha Mint Discord, it does not work. I'm not sure, my friend.
Yeah, we blocked you. I forgot to tell you. We're breaking the news on the show here. No.
I think it should be Discord. I'll type it in the chat. Discord.gg/Alpha Mint. Should work. I'm going to click on it. Oh, I can't click on it in here. Anyways. On that note, if you tuned in late, just a quick recap. We talked about cryptocurrency. Maybe the bottom is in, and we are moving back in towards the promised land. We talked some Polygon and gaming, Bored Apes. Everything Bored Apes is going absolutely ballistic, and how much that ecosystem can be valued at. We had Cool Cats. We had Azuki. We talked some ish about Fishy Fam, but if you're minting that, all respect to you. Relics by Monstercat went live yesterday, so go check that out if you're a fan of music NFTs. We recapped my homies in Dreamland in the Meta Gold Diggers Club. Actually, we didn't talk about that, but they're doing super well. We went on a lot of rants about Primate Planet and the cabal of realistic 3D shit. And then, we talked about some other stuff as well. So if any of that interests you, Free Market had a great conversation about kaijus. If any of that interests you, make sure you go check it out. We appreciate everybody's time, everybody's love. We love hearing from you guys. And thank you so much for being chatty today. It keeps the show going and it's fun to interact with you. Free Market, what do you got?
Good luck at the tables, degenerates.